In this lesson, I want to show you how to back up your WordPress site. This is so important. I know from my own experience, I've had issues with someone actually hacking my website. They took it down completely, and without a backup, I would have been lost. I would have lost business and I wouldn't have known where to even begin. So luckily now I'm using a backup plugin, and there are some paid and free options. First, let me just talk about the paid options if you want to check them out yourself. These come highly recommended from all kinds of sources. One is VaultPress. This is created by the same creators of the Jetpack plugin. So this is one that a lot of people use, and it's built in kind of with Jetpack. The only thing is you have to pay for it. The other premium one I would highly recommend is Backup Buddy. This is used by, you can see here, 500,000 WordPress sites since 2010. They do have different options for buying this plugin. You can pay a yearly rate or even a lifetime rate. And if you do find yourself being serious with your website and you seem like your business is growing and you want to invest in a high quality plugin for backing up, I can highly recommend this one. But even when you're just starting out, you want to make sure you have something. So like I always do in this course, I want to give you a free option just to get started. And this is actually one of the ones I'm using for my own site. It's called Backup WordPress. Now to find this, you might have to search for Backup WordPress, all one word. You can see that it has over 200,000 downloads itself and lots of great reviews. So let me just go ahead and install it and I'll walk you through it. Once you've installed it, you'll find it under Tools. So go to Tools and then click Backups. When you first see this page, you will have no backups and you'll want to set it up to backup according to your schedule. So go to Settings right here. Here you can choose to back up your database only or your files only, or both your database and files. So your files will include all of your images, all of the things that you upload to your website. So if you want a full, complete backup, I would suggest doing both the database and the files. You just never know what's going to happen and you don't want to lose anything. So if you do end up losing your website, you could literally download the backup file and start up again. Next, you want to set your schedule. You can do it daily, hourly, only when you want to, every week, every 2 weeks, every month. I recommend scheduling it to however often you seem to be updating your website. If you're only posting a new blog post or making updates once a week or so, I would recommend just scheduling it every week. There's no point in running it more often than that because it's just going to be the same files and it just takes up processing power. So that's what I typically do because I'm usually posting once a week or so. And even if the worst thing happens and I get hacked and I end up losing a blog post or even two that I hadn't written since I backed it up, that's fine. If you do make major changes to your website, I suggest doing a manual backup, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. You can set the date and the time when you want it to back up, and you can also set the number of backups to store on the server. So this backup plugin actually stores your backups to your own server. So this is wherever you're hosting your website. So for me, I'm hosting with Bluehost, so it's going to actually back up this WordPress in my Bluehost database. There are other plugins or a premium version of this plugin that will automatically back up your website to some cloud service such as Dropbox. This might be a good idea if you want to easily be able to access your backup that way. Otherwise, you can plug in your email right here, and whenever they do a backup, they'll send you an email with a download link. So you could just go back to that email, the last one from the backup that was most recent, and download your backup that way. Or you can download your files from an FTP server. So going in the back end of your files, which is a little bit more advanced, but it's the other way to actually access all of the files of your website. I was just mentioning if you do make a lot of changes and you just want to back up your website manually, just click this Run Now button. After you've run some backups or after enough time where it's done multiple backups, it will show all of your backups down here. And you can download them straight from here. It'll be under Actions. So that's the Backup WordPress plugin. I can personally highly suggest using this one, and it's a very important one to install and activate and get set up right when you start.